everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yoon, and today's video is hopefully not that long, especially for what I'm going to be talking about, but I just wanted to talk about I would suppose like a reading red flag of mine, and the only exception to that. One of my I think biggest red flags when it comes to reading is that I just can't get behind the act of rereading a book. And I'm gonna say specifically a book, because I can reread webtoons and fanfiction and mangas like so many times, okay? It is when it comes to rereading a book that I just can't find the enjoyment of doing. And I don't know why, because I was thinking maybe the biggest reason is because I can remember everything that happens in the book, or like the main plots. So rereading it and having to essentially go through the same thing isn't that fun. But I think for some reason I just can't invest in the characters within books as much as I get invested in characters in webtoons, mangas, and fanfiction. Fanfiction makes sense, you know, like they're characters I'm already familiar with, I already like, I'm already like super into, invested in. But like, I don't know why I can get so into webtoons and mangas and the characters enough that I can reread one story like 100 times. I've reread So Leveling, I want to say more than 20 times. Like, I don't know how many times I go back to So Leveling and just reread it. And like, I started rereading Debut or Die like so many times. I just don't understand why I just can't seem to do that for books. But for some reason I just don't get as invested within invested in characters within books as I do with like webtoons, mangas, etc. And that's just how it is. Excuse, my phone's all the way over there and I just keep getting calls for some reason. I don't know who it's from. I'll be checking that later. But like, you know, I just don't know why that is, how it's turning out to be like that. And yeah. But on a bright note, so I've reread The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea several times but that one definitely had its greatest impact on me the very first time I read it. And when I do reread it, I normally end up just skipping to scenes that I like instead of the entire story throughout. But like, I still like the book and everything, but like, I just can't seem to reread a book from beginning to end and find, I guess, like the fun again in that, which for me kind of sucks because I have physical books, you know, like I want to go back and reread them and everything. But also at the same time right now, I think it's because I have so many books that I guess it's good that I don't know, like I'm not into rereading, because there's just so many books I have to get into and finish. But on that note, the one exception that I have found until now is The Red Palace by June Hur. This book is just, has to be my ultimate favorite of all the books I've read since I got back into reading, maybe even ever since when I was just reading, because something about this book is just so good. And it's just a book I can get back into, a book I want to reread a lot. Like, I made this video because I wanted to reread this book, and I realized I never really had that urge or desire to, so I was like, let me make a video, let me talk about this one book that seems to be the exception to me not feeling the desire to reread a book. And I love it. It's just, I really don't know what it is about this book, but I love the characters. I love the fact that it's set in historical Korea, Chosun Korea. I love the mystery. I love June Hur's writing. Her writing is so good, and she just sets the vibes immaculately, and it's just amazing. And I cannot wait for her upcoming 2 books. One of them's coming out next year. Unfortunately, it's May, so I have to wait even longer for that. But at least it's coming out next year. Her other book's coming out 2026, which I'm so impatient for. But her writing and just the Red Palace is the only exception that gets me so excited to reread. And I don't know why, but on that note, let me know if you are somebody who loves to reread. What are some of your favorite books? And if you like historical fiction, if you like murder mysteries, and this has the cutest romance I've ever read in a long time. The other one is Half a Soul, but this one takes the cake because it's so freaking cute. Cause it's not even like a main plot, it's a subplot romance, but it's just such a good romance. So if you like all 3 things, I highly recommend this book. It's just so good. And I have books I need to read, but I might just sneak in a reread of this, you know. I love this book so much. But yeah, okay. This dust jacket, by the way, is not the original. This was the special edition dust jacket by Fate Crate. I got this on their restock sale or their like leftover sale. I don't know if they'll ever have another one of this for sales anytime soon, but I am so glad I got it because it's so gorgeous. But yeah, this was my just casual talk about one of my, what I think might be a red flag, or at least we'll call it a red flag, and the only exception to it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts or your stance on rereads and just like what books you love to reread too. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.